Good morning and welcome back to Teal House Farm. It is harvest day for our early spring stuff that's outside in the garden and the berries and stuff that are in the yard. It is really early. I've been up since about 5, not on purpose, but a little person decided that they were going to get up this early this morning and I couldn't get her back to sleep. So we're up. Since we're up, we're going to go ahead, make breakfast, get things rolling, and then we'll take you out to the garden with us later today and do a bunch of harvesting, and we're going to have a real delicious dinner from the homestead, and we'll take you along for the journey. But this morning, we're going to make some sourdough discard muffins with some mulberries from our mulberry tree, and we got to get some dinner in the crock pot. We're going to use some of our lamb roasts here to go with dinner. So dinner tonight will be, hopefully, if harvest goes well, mostly from the garden and obviously the lamb that we raised last year. So anyway, let's get those muffins in the oven. The little ones are already awake upstairs. I can hear them talking even though it's only 5:30 in the morning because the baby was just really unsettled this morning and woke up the whole house. So I'm gonna get breakfast going. Those other kids aren't allowed downstairs though until breakfast is done because it is just too early. We're going to do some sourdough chocolate chip muffins. So I get those in the oven, and then I'm going to do some honeydew melon as well. I'll put the muffin recipe below. It's pretty simple and it uses your sourdough discard to make a great muffin. And then we're going to get our lamb ready. We're going to cook it in the crock pot all day. So we need some onion powder, paprika, garlic powder, white pepper, some thyme, and some salt. And I just kind of put a dash of this, a dash of that in a bowl. And I'm going to mix it together to make a rub. I don't have exact proportions for you, just kind of what looks right to me. And then I also add a couple tablespoons of brown sugar because this makes a real good crust on the outside of the roast. So we're going to do 2 neck roasts. Today we're doing 2 because the neck roasts have bone in the middle, so there's actually not a lot of meat on there. I found that with lamb, if there's a lot of excess fat on the outside of the cut, you want to trim that off. Otherwise, it gets a real rammy flavor. Sometimes people call it a gamey flavor to the meat. So if we cut that off, then the meat is very similar to beef once it's cooked. We're going to go ahead and pat on the rub and then stick it in the crock pot on low all day. Our muffins are ready. And then the last thing we need to do this morning is get our sourdough bread ready to go in the oven. Still getting good at this, a little bit at a time, getting better each time I try to put it together. Okay, I think we're ready to go do some harvesting, right? Sometimes the hardest part of this whole thing is getting everybody ready to go outside at the same time. Because somebody's always ready too early, and then they want to go out, and then they get cranky that we're not ready, and then diapers and all that. But we're ready, we're going right now. Let's go. Where's Pat? Okay.
We'll just kind of twerk. They're coming.
Yeah, I'll take care of them. I brought this big bucket, so when you pick in your little buckets, you can dump it in the big bucket.
Let's be like fill it up kind of.
Yeah.
Those are cicadas. Those are cicadas. That's a cicada song.
Our mulberry bush is ginormous. And we also have these 2 satellite dishes that is growing around. So a long time ago, somebody had satellite TV and planted a tiny bush, not realizing how big it would get, because you're definitely not getting any signal now. I don't really know how to get rid of those, if I'm even allowed to, because aren't those the property of the dish company? I don't know. So they just stay there, and we pick around them. Everybody helps pick. We want these mulberries when they're very black, and they stain everything purple, so we try not to wear clothes that we absolutely love. And we're just filling up this bucket as much as we can today. It is a little easier to pick mulberries if you put a sheet down and just shake the tree, which we'll probably do later. But for right now, they're just starting to get ripe and the kids really love picking them, so we're gonna pick them by hand. I am the official goose chaser. They really want to see what we're doing and they keep coming over, but the kids don't really like them. I don't blame, especially little guys. Geese are really big. It's not super easy to tell from this picture, but they look Pat in the eye and he does not like that. So I keep pushing them down the driveway and the kids just keep picking and we keep filling the bucket. I'll freeze most of these mulberries, and then when mulberry season is totally over, we will make jams and jellies and use them to make pies and muffins. I do think Micah's going to make a dessert tonight, though, with some of these that we pick, because they're just excited to use these. The kids also like to put them in their plain yogurt, and just eat them as a snack as well. They don't have a real strong flavor, but it is similar to a black raspberry. We picked for probably about 45 minutes, and then it started to get really hot, so some of the kids wanted to go inside, and then the rest of the kids are going to help me harvest some stuff out of our raised bed that we planted in the early spring. I planted just a few radishes and they did great, and some of you said that we should try roasting radishes. So I didn't plant very many because usually I'm the only one who eats radishes raw, and we're going to try roasting these, and if everybody likes them then we will plant a whole bunch more in the fall. JJ is going to give me a hand picking our spinach here, which is getting ready to bolt because it's starting to get hot, so we're going to harvest a whole bunch of it and use it to make a salad tonight with some of those radishes and some radish tops in it. She does a great job cutting off all those outer leaves. And I'm going to go ahead and thin out my carrots and put those in there as well. Carrots are similar to parsley, but the flavor isn't as strong, and you can just eat the tops, so we're going to just throw them in our salad mix today. JJ did a great job. We got a full bucket. We're going to bring that in and get it ready for dinner as well. The kids do a lot of playing outside. Don't worry, after this trip I did tell them they needed to wear helmets on the bike, but they love riding that bike down the hill. Here we have it. So let's go ahead and finish dinner. We've got the lamb roast almost ready. We're just gonna pull it, so it'd be like a pulled pork, but it's lamb, right? Kids can dip it in ketchup. Sam will want barbecue sauce on it. It already has that rub on it as well. We have a lot of radishes and spinach and those carrot tops from the carrots I thinned out. We're going to roast the radishes with some potatoes. By the way, Ivy did my nails during nap time, so they've got a little hillside sunset going on. She did a good job. We're going to roast the radishes with some diced potatoes because some of you said to try that. I've never done that, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to chop the leaves in with the spinach and the carrot tops, and I think I have a cucumber in the fridge, and we'll do like a chopped mixed salad with all those different greens. You can eat radish tops raw. You can also cook them. They are a little bit fuzzy, but honestly, if you chop them like we're going to, so small pieces in the salad, you really can't tell when you mix it in with everything else. And then Micah is going to make a mulberry buckle for dessert, and we'll have some ice cream on top with that. All right, let's get cooking. We are gonna dice up these radishes. Gonna do them into chunks and roast them with some potatoes. I'm gonna cut the potatoes the same size. I did not grow these potatoes, these are from the store. Dump them in a bowl here, and I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil, going to add some white pepper and a whole bunch of seasoned salt. I'm going to give it a toss, and then we're going to put it in a cast iron pan and cook it on 400, giving it a mix in the pan after about 10 minutes. For the tops, we're going to dice them into small strips. I cut out any really big stems. And the leftover tops, we aren't going to put all of these in the salad today because that would be a whole lot. Leftovers will go in the freezer, and you can cook them like spinach. The spinach gets diced too into a chopped salad, and then I have one radish left over, so we're going to go ahead and put that in there as well. Our sourdough loaf from earlier today is ready, so we're going to slice that. And then our roasts are looking great. We're gonna take them out of the crock pot and let them sit for just like 10 minutes before we shred the meat off the bone. It smells so good. I wish you could smell it too. Micah gets started on dessert, which is going to be a mulberry buckle. So we're creaming together some butter and sugar. We're going to carefully fold in our mulberries. I will put this recipe below. It's actually a blackberry recipe, but we use mulberries instead. It's real simple to make and really delicious, and it looks great. Okay, we have it all done. I'm going to take a real quick taste test of the radishes because my battery is almost dead. So I'm going to eat this, and then I'm going to plate everyone else's food. But I'm just genuinely curious what they taste like. Somebody is super hungry. Anyway, the radishes they taste really good roasted in with the potatoes. They do not have any spiciness to them, and they kind of take on the same flavor as the potatoes. So, all right, I got to get everybody else's food on the table. But it was fun harvesting today, making a meal that was basically all handmade. So that's pretty cool, and we picked it ourselves. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys again real soon.